So what separates the one that actually achieve their goals and build incredible businesses from the ones that seems not to be able to start or even to keep going? What is with the vast majority that keeps on dreaming but never doing? Most people think it's willpower or some magical motivation, or they just need this secret one more piece of information. They spend years on gathering more information, and then in the end, they start not anything. Or they quit at the first sign of resistance. After years of working with high achievers, I can tell you one brutal truth. It is not about what you know, but it's about what you execute. How quickly can you move from theory to action? And how do you sustain that momentum? It's about creating an undeniable and non-negotiable container for transformation. And that's the power of challenges. I will expose and tell you 6 principles that guarantee you financial and personal growth. The breakthrough with the power of challenges. Let's step right in. Before we dive in, let's be clear, what are we talking about? Probably you know all these 30-day challenges for a diet, for a sports challenge, doing 100 push-ups a day, and that all is supposed to bring you forward. However, what happens after the 30 days? What is the next step? I mean, probably a kind of a JoJo effect after a diet, or even worse, the challenge is basically unbalanced. It is when you think about the 100-day or the 100 push-up challenge for 30 days. Yes, that is when you have this biceps and the rest of your body is still at state 0. That's not a balanced challenge. That's the difference between a simple activity challenge or a transformational challenge. A transformational challenge triggers a cascade of activities surrounding this challenge. It is what you have committed to, the goal that is pushing you forward. But the way of how to achieve that, how to get to the goals, the different steps you have to take, they require a whole set of activities that need to fall in place while you walk along the challenge, so that in the end, you have created something that is sustainable, a sustainable end result that is significantly different from the place where you have started the journey. So how do we build long-lasting challenges that guarantee you a breakthrough for your personal success and growth? It starts all with principle number 1, forced momentum. That's exactly where most people get trapped. They're ambitious, they are motivated, and then they start learning. They start watching YouTube videos, they go to meetings, they think about, they write something down. The more they go into the rabbit hole of information, the more they want different and more information. They are caught in this vicious cycle of wanting more and more and more information. They fall deeper into the rabbit hole of improving and learning. They get so good in preparing to succeed that they actually never start. Their own ambitiousness becomes a prism of perfectionizing and analysis paralysis. When do you execute when you're always optimizing? When do you find the courage to fail and make mistakes, to look bad in front of your competition, when you're always stuck in theory? The brutal truth is there's only one way to success. It's to fail forward. Challenges are the ultimate point of no return. They provide this forced momentum. You are not just setting a goal. You are setting a commitment point, a launch date, and you are doing it with a community. You hold each other accountable, you move together forward, and you embrace the glorious mess of failure. Failure isn't something to hide from. It's something to be proud of, because it means you have something to learn from and you are actually in the arena. You're playing this game. You're in the field of action. Challenges are the key to unlock the chains of overthinking, perfectionism, and that suffocating ambition that actually keeps you on the sideline for the whole time. It's saying, let's go, but let's go like together, guided through the chaos of becoming successful. Because let's be honest, success isn't a joyride. It is the pain of ups and downs and the failures. And once and as long you become better, this 1% every day, you are still winning. Some days will feel like even a 10% setback. You get nothing done and you feel very, very frustrated because you wake up, you were ambitious, you tried your best, and nothing was working out. You did not even start. Maybe you were procrastinating the whole day. What actually happened here? And the next day, when your motivation is as low as, you just keep on going. Not because you have any motivation, but because you're committed to a challenge. And then you still make the 1% win at this day. And the day that felt like 10% back, well, actually learn even from this day, and it was still a win. Because when you stop, when you don't execute on something, then something is in your energy system not aligned. You actually resisted to do this activity for a reason. Find out this reason and also learn from this and adjust the whole set of activities. And now you will see that this day that looked like a failure was actually a win. Continuing to move forward, this forced momentum from the challenge, this non-negotiable goal that you've set for yourself. That is the power and the actual strength of the whole ambition here, because it pulls you out of your head and into the power and energy of execution. And it might be the best benefit of that whole project, that this community aspect, that you are not going alone on this journey. Because let's face it, most people go on this journey alone. They set their ambitions straight and they try to solve it and master it all by themselves. What happens? Life happens. Life means different challenges come in your life. You're needed here, there. There's distraction all the way. How can you stay focused on that when there is even your old life, your old routines, your whole network that is keeping you basically in place? Your ambitions will not go away. Your ambitions will basically just fade. And after a while, you're in the same routines and living the same life. It costs you energy to sustain this momentum all the time. And if you have not a razor clear focus set, you will lose for sure. Because the pullback into normal life is strong. You don't forget your dreams, but they lose grip on you. Or worse, they fade back into the state of dreams. Dreams you keep in your mind, but not the ones you're executing on. But once you step into a community, you are not setting goals for yourself. You become part of a movement. Everyone in this group has its own targets, its own goals, its own mountain to climb. And the ones who truly succeed in this group, these are the ones that dare to fail. Get up and move again. Learn from it. Those are the ones sharing the victories in the group. Those are the ones that will inspire you. And in many cases, you will be the one inspiring others. This is where your fear of missing out, your FOMO, will become your greatest ally. You're in the community and you'll report your wins. You're seeing who's hitting their numbers and who's making ground. And you also see who's stumbling, then getting back up and regaining momentum. This isn't just a support group. This is your pure fuel for your motivation to become better and keep going. Imagine this. You are on the battlefield, pushing your own limits, and left and right, you see your friends setting their goals and striving forward, facing their own obstacles. In this shared commitment, you find an unbeatable strength, a force that grounds you all together. You move forward together and you improve and step into mastery together. This is the duality of challenges. You set your own goals, you strive for your targets, but the fact that everyone in this group is doing the same thing, it's in just so powerful movement to feel. This is basically the ultimate catalyst for action. And this is why you can't afford doing this whole thing alone. Let's go to principle number 2, the 30-day Rewire. Now let's talk about how those challenges not just force you into a momentum, but keep you going for this 1% steady increase. This is the power of the 30-day rewire. Why 30 days? Why not a week or a day? I mean, we have so many ups and downs on our journey. How can you actually make errors, make failures when you measure it for such a short period of time? And the truth is also that when you look at the 1% increase that you're doing in performance and becoming better and becoming closer to your goals, it will feel for you as nothing. You will feel like stuck in the mud. You will feel like nothing really has changed. The 1%, come on, what is that? Only if you keep track of these little achievements, and then you look back after 1 month where you were standing before that, you see that you have transformed completely without even realizing. That's the power of going and committing to something for a longer period of time. And science backs this up. Basically, if you want to recondition and rewire your brain, and you start with affirmations, and you repeat and repeat these affirmations, they gain momentum and an effect within your brain after 21 days. Your body and your whole system will resist it for quite a while, will not even accept that you are on this mission. Some part of you, the ambitious part of you, will accept that and will say, yes, we go this way. The other part of yourself is like, nah, will we really make it? Is it even worth the effort? Maybe, maybe not. There's the resistance. But once you commit to a goal and you keep on going for something like longer than 21 days, your whole system becomes aligned and you will feel, especially for the last week of a challenge, all the power that brings you and propels you forward. And that's where this rewiring becomes absolutely critical. When we talk about breaking the invisible barriers to unlock a new money mindset, for example, your barriers to financial freedoms are the ones that keep you stuck. So many people struggle with money, not because they have not the right ambition there and they lack the effort. It is because invisible chains are holding them back. Their money mindset. So principle number 3, shatter your money blocks. So that leads us directly to the principle number 3. Now it's time to really shatter your money blocks. Let's be brutally honest. You are full of assumption about money. They're deeply ingrained from your childhood, from your family, from all the people around you, and they are determine how you think about money right now. They are not just thoughts. They are scripts running in the background of your mind, and they determine how you think about money. They determine your financial reality. One proof, sit down with a piece of paper and write down 10 beliefs that you think about money, that are your truth, that you think is reality. This is what money is, and that is what money is for you, and this is how money functions in the world. If a millionaire sits down and writes down 10 things about money, do you think it's the same things? It will be is radically different how they think about money and what you think about money. What you think about money is a prison. It keeps you stuck. Why can I say that? If it were to be different, you would be in a different point of life. Your thoughts determine what is your reality. And acquiring a millionaire's mindset, you cannot just take over their mindset and think now it's yours. You have your invisible chains, your beliefs from the past that are holding you back. And when you not cut them, how can you implement and make room for something new? Difficult. Your unconscious beliefs, your hidden drivers, they are the ones that make you tick at the moment. But once you pull it into the obvious, you pull it out and you can see it and is it tangible what you think about money? In this moment, it loses its power. So it can no longer control you. This is why I created the Blockage Compass. It's not magic. It's an AI-guided, empowered system that is designed for one purpose and one purpose only. That is to bring out your unconscious beliefs into visibility bring them into your conscious awareness so you can finally see them. And trust me, once you are aware of your beliefs and it becomes obvious of what is actually the pattern in the back of your mind, you'll change your point of view instantly. The results that I got with the blockage compass, they were in my mind for days and weeks. I could not let go of this is how I tick. I was so fascinated by that. And also the stories the blockage compass gives you to illuminate what is the driver here. It changed everything. It changed my behavior in a matter of days. You have these aha moments, but then once you fell back into how you normally react on things, you become directly reminded of, wait a second, I know this pattern. That's an old pattern. We don't need this anymore. And then you step into the solutions from the blockage compass that said what you would imply now. How would you think differently about this thing? You will just try it. You're like, okay, that's new. I will just try it in the situation. But seeing those ideas, that's not enough. You need to shatter them. Go through and implement something bold. And that's where challenges come in. It's a powerful program. It's not just an affirmation. It's a movement to literally shatter your money blocks. You are not just hopping into a new program. You are forcing it. You are exposing yourself 30 days in a row to a new set of thinking, into new beliefs every day. This is the bulldoze method of affirmations. This is the only way to directly obliterate these old limiting money blocks. And sometimes to fuel this bulldoze method, you need to take a step back. You need something like a blockage compass to see what is actually holding you back. What are the old chains from the past? And imagine if these chains would be cut off, how much further could you jump if you take something so powerful on board, like a challenge that is like a bulldozer propelling you forward. This is incredible. You commit to a fresh mindset about money. You commit to a fresh set of beliefs. A truly abundant money mindset. This isn't just powerful, it's transformative. It will change your life in a ridiculously short amount of time. So we come to principle number 4 of activate, implement, and amplify. But here's the brutal truth. A breakthrough mindset is only the first step. Too many people have massive internal shifts, feel incredible for a week or two, and then they fall back into old patterns. They activate a new way of thinking, but they fail to build up on it. That's why you need a system, a blueprint to turn that internal shift into external results. Activate, implement, and amplify is the ultimate blueprint to turn that into sustainable, lasting change. Let's dive in. Activation. Becoming active is not trivial. Think about all the people that are stuck in their 9 to 5 and are more or less happy. But to activate that, to go and dare to dream and follow your dreams, that's risky. Your brain would basically not like that because there's the high chance that it will not work out as you want it to be. There's the high chance of failure. What's more safe? More safe is always to just stay in your energy. And there is a nice trick that our brain has incorporated for us. It's dreaming of a fantasy of a new life, of a new car that you always wanted, a dream partner, a love relationship that you always wanted. And you dream into this because the actual steps to this are so risky and so prone to failure, you might not even start it. In fact, sometimes you might not even like the result of that. The dream is way safer, it's more beautiful than reality, and you don't even have to make the changes within you to reach that state. So a dream keeps you perfectly warm, cozy in your comfort zone, and safe. And you will never start chasing this dream. Or if you do, you will self-sabotage your way out of this again and again and again. And you make your failures and you end up in the same position over and over again because you actually like dreaming and staying in the fantasy. Are you willing to commit to a challenge? To go this step and actually go through the valley of failures? Be honest with yourself. And if you choose a challenge, choose a goal that you really want, that you feel comfortable with, that you say, if I have achieved it, I would actually like it. And all the pain on the way, that is the journey. That is part of the journey. That is what actually makes it so beautiful. This is why a challenge is designed to powerfully activate you. But that is only one part of the story. Think about how many people have good ideas. They sit together in a bar and they exchange ideas and they say, I have an amazing idea for an app. I have a cool song that I want to bring out. I want to found an organization that is actually transforming society. And then they do nothing with that. Nothing follows up on that. And 6 months later, guess what? They see their song, their idea, their app, their organization in reality. And they would say, they have stolen my idea. No, no one has stolen your idea. You must be aware of this brutal fact that whenever you have an idea that is amazing and unique, in the same time, this is part of the zeitgeist, 1,000 other people have the same idea. Synchronicities. But 6 months later, do you see 1,000 organizations, 1,000 new songs, 1,000 apps? They are all competing with each other? No. You say 1, 2, 3. That's how many people really step into action and activities and realize and bring into life what they are dreaming of. Because every idea that you want to bring forward has an implementation phase. This phase is not so shiny as the idea. It's about all the requirements that come with that. You need to hire people. There are governmental regulations you have to follow up on. There is bookkeeping. There's a company to file. There are so many things that come over to you that have nothing to do with your original idea anymore. Technical obstacles, bureaucratic obstacles, and so on. This is the non-shiny back end of your ideas. To power through these phases, that requires a lot of motivation, because many steps will feel again like very small or even steps back. This is again where the power of a challenge and the group dynamic comes in to help you power through and stay motivated and belong in the end to the 0.1% of the people that power through. I know even this sounds demotivating, but the number could be way, way higher if people set ambitious goals, they are honest with their desires, and they go for it. Let's bring that to the money mindset, to your money blocks. On that level that you are right now, you can easily see the level you are on right now on your bank account. Check your bank account and check how much money is in there. And what does the number say? I remember when I hit my first 1,000 US dollars. That was a magical moment. I was a kid and I saved up my pocket money. I don't give it for anything. I just saved it up and bring it to the bank. And when I was going to the bank and I gave the final $10 to achieve the 1,000, the bank clerk looked at me and said, congratulations. From now on, it's much easier to get the next. And I say, much easier to get the next 1,000? It took me months of saving up to get to this point to have the 1,000 in the bank. How should I do this trick ever again? But it was right. From there on, well, once I hit the first 1,000, I had the next 2,000 and 3,000, 4,000. I was in a different stage of my life. I also earning some real adult money and could put it up there. It was growing much faster. Thousands are a normal way to think about my life. But then to make the jump, to hit ever 10,000, it's another stage in your life. I was out of studies then and stepped into the world of having a real job. This is when I hit my first 10,000. And once I hit this 10,000, guess what? 10,000 is the normal standard for me. I had to 10,000, another 10,000 coming in, and another 10,000, another 10,000. And you spend 10,000 and you do 10,000 is the norm of what you're doing. And now I have the same once I hit the 100,000. 100,000 is the normal. If I make a purchase of something and it costs 100,000, I say, okay, that's normal for me. 100,000 is the way to go. And still you have a lot of things that you pay out. You are on this level. You're on this level. And that means going to the next one from the 100,000 to 1,000,000. That's a mission I'm on right now. Once you hit that, you have set up different systems, different learnings you have taken to achieve that level. You can feel that every position has changed my life completely, and everything below and everything around that. That is why I say you can look at your bank account and see like what is the number you have in there. That is your new normal of entities. You can actually see what level you have implemented for yourself and in your life right now. So we have the activation and we have you being ambitious and actually going for your dreams and also powering through the implementation phase, the phase that is less shiny, is bureaucratic and all of that. And you know on what stage you are and you know what the next stage that you want to implement into your life. I think the second phase of implementation is extremely crucial because the activation is a very, very important part to start, but to keep going, that is the implementation part. Now let's go to the third part, which is about amplification. This is when you take what is working and you 10x that. You make it bigger. You put resources behind that. Most people will get stuck there. Because let's say you set something up, you implemented it and you have a company running and going for you. And whatever it is, it might be a smaller business, might be medium size, wherever you are. But how many mediocre companies and ambitions are out there that die even before you have ever heard of them? You will never ever hear of most of the companies out there. The ones that manage to amplify the activities, to go to the highest level and that solve fundamental questions of what do you scale, what do you delegate, what do you automate. These are very crucial questions for the last phase of the amplification. What can you bring to the real next level? Because only if it scales, you can break through the final barriers of success. Because only if you succeed with that, you can break the top level barriers. This is exactly why I set up my challenges in 3-month challenges in a row. The first is about the activation, the second of the implementation, and the third of the amplification. And yes, you can take all the 3 challenges in a row because this is how fast you can scale and make the developments within you. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge for a reason. The name says that the time during that will be hard. It will be transformative. And transformation means always you have to let go of the old one to make room for the new, for the real transformation. But luckily, you will succeed once you commit to this challenge. Because what you're getting and what you're unlocking is principle number 5, unstoppable commitment. So here you have it. That's the roadmap. This is the activation, implementation, and amplification. But why is it that so many people still, with such a good blueprint and with a crystal clear roadmap, falter? Why do they start strong, burn bright, and then only to have this fire die out once friction starts? The difference isn't always strategy or talent. It is the unstoppable motivation that brings you forward. No matter what, is the force that stops you from quitting and makes consistent progress inevitable. Let's dive in the 5th principle of unstoppable commitment. To understand unstoppable commitment, let's twist the question. We are not asking, how do you become successful? We ask, what keeps you exactly where you are? What are the invisible forces holding you back? And how can you leverage them? It boils down to 4 critical factors that keep you stuck. And challenges are specifically designed to invert those factors and turn them into fuel for breakthrough. First, expectations. What is it that your family, your environment, your friend expects from you? If they expect from you doing the same things and being the same person, how can you change? This is why you need to make a clear and bold public declaration of your goals. Make it bold, make it almost unbelievable, make it powerful, repeat it, tell it to your friends, to your family, and everyone around. It's a public declaration. This is literally a point of no return. And you go this way. You commit to a challenge. You repeat it. When all the people think, it's a phase, you will not do this. Will she follow up with that? And you do. And you go forward. And you repeat that. You will gain the respect of others. Even the admiration. And they will start expecting other things from you. Their expectations will change. And that will push you into a new position directly. Sure, you might also lose people. You might attract new people. Your environment will change. But that's the power of expectations here. You have to actively tackle that in order to achieve unstoppable commitment. Second factor, financial commitment. Put your money where your mouth is. Invest something. If you know that something is free, how much do you respect it? If you know that something costs something, that is also why challenges can cost thousands. Your brain subconsciously directly wants this money back. Whatever you invest in a challenge, your brain wants this money back. It wants a return on investment. This is motivation. Yes, you will show up. Yes, you will make an agenda. Yes, you will follow through this agenda. Yes, you will every day check in what your community is doing. Yes, you will be inspired by the community. And yes, you will contribute to the community as well. You want your money back. This simple but super trivial thought is pushing you forward, and it's so important to give the starting momentum. And also the momentum to power through. Because otherwise, why have you bought that? Right? This is very magical to understand why a financial commitment is unlocking a lot of energy. That is part of your success story. And also here, once the transfer is done, it's booked. It is really booked. Now it's reality. This is again an undeniable commitment to your transformation. The third principle is involvement. It's nice to share to your family and friends and peer group. Yes. But they, in most cases, will not necessarily move forward with you. Your community that you commit to, that's a different thing. They move forward as well. They move forward together with you. Week for week for week, you are part of a movement. It's a different story. That is, you're not just committing to a goal, you are part of a movement. You don't just start, you stay involved. 3, involvement. And finally, belief. If you, after 1 month, still believe the same things that you are believing right now, nothing will change. You must expose yourself to new ways of thinking and embed them into your thoughts. Affirmations, they help. My Bodo's method of implementing that helps even more. Challenges are transformative. This systematic transformation of belief is in the end what makes the magic and creates unstoppable commitment. Principle number 6, the swing to greatness. This is how challenges provide a forced momentum to break free. They create a structure to rewire your habits, and they have the power to shatter your money blocks. Strategic sequences of challenges can serve different purposes, like the activation, the implementation, and the amplification of your goals and your ambition. They can amplify your vision with unstoppable commitment. But what happens if you achieve your breakthrough? What happens if you have reached the next level, and now what? The goal is not to make a one-time win, but realizing that your whole life's journey is about always new targets that you'll find and discover for yourself. It's about designing a life where growth isn't a temporary event, but a continuous journey. It's about making breakthroughs your new normal. And this brings us to the sixth principle, the swing to greatness. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people misunderstand growth. Growth is not linear. Growth is a continuous up and down. It happens in swings. You are not just getting incrementally better, step by step, a little by little, forever. That's a fantasy. Real growth happens in swings. You will have an upswing, exciting breakthroughs, massive wins, and after this comes the downswing. And this is not because of a failure. This is a normal process of you setting a new target, and then you have to make new learnings. You go back in reflecting up on yourself, making learnings, and going back to the battleground. That is your downswing. That means deploying new ways of thinking, new methods, making a profound mindset shift. It means whenever you want to level up, you have to take a step back. It might feel like a failure, like operating below your standard. It might even feel that like everything is slipping out of your hand. But this is your swing to greatness. This is precisely why your supportive community is so important. It is there for you in these moments of the downswing, in the tail of the swing when you cannot even see the top anymore. And your brain is even regretting having made this decision. This is when your supportive community is there for you and helps you to push through the tail of the swing up to greatness. I know people that had a striving business. Everything was going great. And most of them, the surrounding says, that's it. Don't change anything. Don't never touch a running system. But they felt a calling for something else, for something more, like a new mission was coming. When you are on the peak of your growth in your environment, it's time probably to take the next step. And people did that. They sold their business. They exited completely and started a new journey. And then, in 1 month, 2, 3, 4 months in, they hit one failure after another. They were in the learning phase. They were on the battleground. They were in the action. And it felt like a huge step back, like a huge downgrade. But guess what? They were not failing downwards. They were failing forward, up to the new swing, gaining momentum through a challenge, having the stability of a community and a movement, making public declarations of what they want to do, putting their money where their mouth is and committing to something, and making all the steps on the way to really achieve this mission. Your ambitions, your goal, that is the line that keeps you going and following, but you make many, many more steps on that way, on your swing upwards. So how do you navigate those swings? How do you ensure that every swing that you're taking is a swing upwards? A new challenge nurtured by a strong community, it supports naturally your growth. But when you want to make this next step and you go to the higher levels, this is when one-on-one coachings really become inevitable. You get the most benefit of personalized guidance from someone who has been where you are right now and who has made the next swing up. Think about it as climbing a mountain, and another climber from upstairs throws you a safety rope. You grab it. You still have to make the journey and the climbing on your own, but any potential downfall is protected. This is the strengths of one-on-one coachings that become more relevant the further high you are in your journey. It complements the community and your own momentum, helping you to break through plateaus and accelerate your next level of growth. Once you understand this fundamental dynamic that growth is not linear, it happens in swings, you are powerfully prepared to grow forward. And with every swing you take up, you gain new potential for the next upswing. You have new capabilities. You can literally, for the next step that requires a bigger setup, you don't even have to do everything on your own. You're not the freelancer anymore. You are the one orchestrating a big company that has the financial means to directly hire the best one for social media, to hire the best one for videography, to hire the best one for script writing, to hire the best one for accounting. You have the means that you might not have had one swing before, where you were the man of all that, you were the woman in charge, and you set us all up. That's a different thing. With every swing up, you are at a very different point with different resources, but your next goal requires different resources again. You can use that, but the strategy that has worked before to bring you where you are right now is not the same strategies that will save you and will help you by making this step. They will still support you, yes, but there is still the gap of new things you have to learn and new things you have to go back to make this transition within you. And at every phase, you can still check your bank account and see where are you on your money journey, on what level of the game are you currently. And you can easily see how your money beliefs transfer. Things that you believe now about money were not the same things that you believed one swing below you, and not the ones that you have one swing above you. Your money mindset will shift with every position and transition that you're doing. So all you can do is you enjoy the journey, you enjoy the ride. Become unstoppable with challenges and take the dare. When is the best time to start a challenge? Well, you will feel it. You will definitely feel it. You will definitely feel it when the frustration and dissatisfaction of where you're stuck right now piles up until you don't accept it anymore. That's the part when you stop in and you take challenges on board. Take action when you're ready. Every month, the ASX community starts a fresh, new challenge. The kickoff is a free live event that I'm hosting at the beginning of every month. Current topic, money mindset, the hidden driver. It's designed for you to reflect on what are you thinking about money right now? Where are you standing at the moment? And is the challenge the right thing for you in this moment? It's a 5-day event series, absolutely free. No excuses, just results. The link to join the community is in the video below. Don't wait, don't overthink it. Take action whenever you're ready. And when you watch this video, you are ready.